What's up, YouTube? Alright, we decided to give the crickets their first, or the frogs their first batch of crickets. Yes. Let's look at what we've got going on in here. I believe this to be a male and a female. Sorry, I won't focus. It's very difficult. But I believe it to be a male and a female barking tree frog. See the color of their eyes? They are brand new born. Not my batch. Kind of a reddish tint, but not a deep red. These are not my batch. These were found on the road. And I am keeping about 20 or so tadpoles. So the water's much more clear. Sorry about the glare. Major glare. Okay, so it is much more clear than it was. I put a different filter on here. Sponge filter, and I'm using air. You can see all the tadpoles, like we fed them just a little bit ago. So they're still kind of over here and fat. Some of them look weird. Like that one, his body actually looks different. And I don't understand what that's about. To me, these look more straight. It's hard to focus because this damn glare. Sorry guys. The body's just much more straight on these than what I noticed from other frog species. I think some are more bulky in the back, stuff like that. But you see, they're doing all right. I think the adding brine shrimp to their diet is really beneficial, as opposed to just fish food in different varieties of flakes or pellets or all of that good stuff. Algae wafers they seem to really like. Yeah, I'll fill you in now about what we saw just a minute ago with mites on cricket heads. It's not all of them, but fill you in on that. So I'm gonna feed them real quick for you. They're starting to spread out again. See how quickly they become voracious for the brine shrimp. So we've been giving them some carrots as well, as generally will sink. I've been thawing the brine shrimp cubes. They're frozen, not live. I'm just doing this. Barely just dropping them in this area. And literally in just a couple minutes, they will flock over. Pretty cool to see them all congregate over here though, trying to eat. Fortunately, they do start competing for food, and that is something we have to feed to compensate for that. Like, it's all foggy. The newer filter is helping a lot better. Different filter, I should say. I'll probably thin these numbers as well too, just because if I can keep them all alive I will, but when they're babies it would be much more difficult to feed all of these mouths and make sure they're all fed. Anyway, I'll go to flies, just like the squirrel video. The first one I think that was the first video I ever uploaded to YouTube. I'll do that same process again. I'll be focused on larger flies probably, but not enough that'll take over and eat my young frogs. and also the crickets will be being bred. I'm gonna stay away from mealworms because I've lost 2 barking to the mealworms. Haven't had issue with all of them, but it's just an iffy situation. I believe they eat the inside of the frogs. Hard to say, hard to prove. But hope you guys enjoyed this. Kind of cool to watch them consume all that food. I mean, that was like half of it. It's just in a matter of minutes as well. Basically, this is what I want to do with the 360 gallons as well. Having a situation where it could be a year-round tank and they can breed when hopefully more often than just their time of year, but because of this is how I'll set up the tank, hopefully I'll have eggs to distribute all over and eventually take that further with this specific species. But until then, I'd like to see them locally in their native range. I'd like to see the Cuban tree frog population diminish, but it's very difficult. It's more consistency than anything. Getting out there, getting those females. Pretty crazy, huh? Alright, so let's get back to that cricket situation. Go and try and feed the new barking babies that I found. I discovered that a couple of the mites have a couple of the crickets have mites. I believe it's this one. I just put new ones in here, unfortunately. But this is like a catch bucket now. It's been the catch bucket for a little while for these because they jump out. Let's see up in the corners. There's quite a few of these. They're pretty much all hybrid. I just put 2 normal crickets in here. But they're all from the black wild ones. I don't know what species they are. I haven't looked them up and I probably won't. Anyway, most of the heads in here look really nice, shiny, but these others, like this one right here, you can see the mites on this head. Sorry, I can't keep this very still. So we're gonna address this issue with some vinegar. Same issue I did for the green mites in my glass jar. We're gonna take a jug, which is natural distilled vinegar. Even though the crickets are in here, I'm still gonna do this. I'll take them out because they don't really need all this. Anyway, so I'm just gonna test this. This is an experiment, but you don't see very many mites sphagnum moss, so I believe the acidic of this should control the situation. And we're gonna leave that. That was quite a bit. We're just gonna let it soak all the way across. This is water over here. I have been keeping this moist. I find the crickets reproduce better. I think some of this was introduced from this. Which I'm not really much for pulling the mosses or funguses and this type of moss for any type of aquariums, but actually that's been dried out for months, so I thought it would be all right. Obviously it is not, but you can clearly see that head. Not now. These other ones, nice and shiny, looking clear. But then you got him. Much easier to focus with the iPhone SE. It's just not. It's the iPhone SE 2020. It's just not as easy to hold it. Anyway, so you can clearly see the mites on these. So that's going to be something I'm going to have to address, like I said. And I think the vinegar situation will work. I'm going to eventually soak all this down. I'm not going to, I mean, I guess I could make it thick, let it all evaporate, and it should be fine. Set it outside for a couple days. I'm not so sure. I might set it outside, but I'm not so sure I'm going to go the route of putting a whole bunch in here. I did obviously soak this. And again, that will work its way all the way across. There's a pretty good level of moisture in there already, it looks like. So, alright. Give you this outcome in a couple weeks, just like the mites right here. And these guys are on the floor now. That's how comfortable I felt. Now you can see there's dust. Is there focus on that? No, didn't like that. There it goes. It's just dust. And there could be mites still. I've actually got to feed these guys. Yeah. Guess I've had some beetles die. But, I've just been feeding them oatmeal. Everybody says cook them, heat them up online. I don't. Or bake them, whatever, to dry them out. I don't. They all look thirsty. There's moisture in the soil, and that's really all I've been doing. Tossing oatmeal in. Store-bought oatmeal, I just refilled my container off a bigger jug. Anyways, again, yeah, kind of interesting to see. Crickets, I've just been feeding them, letting them do their thing for a couple weeks, and then like I said, this has been a catch bucket. I have been putting crickets in here, other than when I buy a massive amount, I drop them in here and transfer them from here to the critters. So now I'm gonna really thoroughly inspect all of them. I might have to look up if the frogs will get mites. I believe they don't, but I'm not really sure. That is information I've never even heard, but then again, who would think pythons get ticks until it was seen? So, I'll look it up. Obviously, if it's gonna happen, I will experience it and have to figure out how to remedy it, because that evidently is my life. Alright guys, chat with you y'all later. Like, subscribe, and I'll bring you more of my fails and learns of life and adventures along the way. Thanks.